Enterprise Service Management. Joining me today, U.S. Navy account team members at ServiceNow. Most notably, the two people that will be talking with me are Sade and Eduardo. Next slide, Sade, if you don't mind.
Did that progress?
Hey, that's not how Sade spells her name.
It did. Okay, everybody, the agenda for today is pretty straightforward. If you guys were with us last week, this is part 2 in the series. We are continuing our U.S. Navy Tech Talk series. We are obviously the second part in the series, and we will link you guys the recording in the chat so that you can access it. We also have a U.S. Navy microsite that is up and running, all things ServiceNow focused on the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. As a housekeeping item, we do have a chat, and it will be monitored by all ServiceNow account team. So if you have questions, if you're confused about something, we are happy to answer any of your questions. Today, we are going to go through a couple of reasons why this is important to the Navy, give you guys a high-level outline of ServiceNow Enterprise Service Management, walk through a demo, and leave plenty of time for Q&A. Next slide, Sade, is perfect.
Must be a lag. Did it go?
There we go. So those of you that joined us last week, and some of you that have seen ServiceNow before might recognize this slide. Bear with me for a moment. I know it's a lot of information to digest, but if you take a look at the center portion, the Now platform, those are a list of technologies and tools that come standard inside of ServiceNow platform, no matter which module you might be working in. And if you look on the outer rings, there are a bunch of labeled, what we would consider modules. So we call this the ServiceNow football slide or the flower petal slide. Historically, ServiceNow actually started as an IT service management solution, helping people with their help desk. Slowly and surely, we've actually built a lot of these applications. Some of them have actually come from customers building things and asking for things. Some of those have actually been internally developed by ServiceNow. The majority of what we're going to focus on today is on the upper left-hand side of our screen, customer service management. How we like to look at that is we call this customer service management in our module, but we actually think about it as enterprise service management. So how do you enable members across your organization, not just people that are internal, but external stakeholders as well?
Excellent.
That would include active duty, contractors, or civilian members. All you, Sade.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So again, my name is Sade Ardani, and yes, I do spell my name a little bit differently than the singer. I think I heard somebody make a comment about that. But I work with Chris and the rest of the team here at ServiceNow, supporting the DoD, specifically supporting the Navy and modernizing enterprise workflows. So I'm going to take just a few brief minutes to walk through the workflow challenges that we see in working with the Navy, and really define what an enterprise solution looks like and why this has been a game changer in supporting our customers for improved mission readiness. Just a reminder, if you guys have any questions throughout this presentation, you can, type it in the chat and we'll be sure to get to it. But this is going to be a brief PowerPoint because I'm going to hand it over to Eduardo for the actual demonstration. But to introduce this conversation, I thought we would kind of define the problem space that we're addressing here. If we look at this diagram, what we traditionally see in agencies and organizations is at the bottom, there are a number of siloed departments, with siloed systems of records, folks that have made investments into different technologies to support the mission. And if you look at the top, the challenge we see is that when mission partners or other agencies or vendors or even family members are trying to interact within the Navy, those processes often span multiple silos. And from an organizational perspective, multiple systems of record as well. And so the challenge is, how do you actually orchestrate and execute an end-to-end process, which takes something like a mission partner request and manages it end-to-end across all the different folks that need to be involved in resolving that particular request. Sorry, is my slide progressing? So our goal in general with our D customers is to help them achieve their mission quicker and more efficiently. So a lot of the challenges that we see consistently with customers across the Navy, hey, you want to make it easy. You want a portal. You want to make it simple, an Amazon-like experience for all their users. You want to make data-driven decisions. So you want to have insight into metrics for what users are asking for the engagements made within your ecosystem, for the inefficiencies in facilities maintenance, and for field work, to name a few. You want the solution to be role-based so that different users have access to certain information and decision-making authority than others. So meaning that your different audiences throughout your enterprise and throughout your ecosystem will interact differently within this system. Knowledge is a big one for you all. You want to leverage a common knowledge base so that you can continue to cultivate and expand the support that you are providing and not have that be disrupted by turnover or folks leaving in general. And then it's 2020, so folks want to provide some support through an omni-channel experience with whether that's with their laptop, whether it's with the phone in their pocket. Enterprise workflows, that's why we're here today. This is one of our key strengths and differentiators in this space. Having a single source of action, regardless of what back-end tools you might be storing your information in. And really, those enterprise workflows are powered by case management. So that work can move throughout the enterprise. And through case, we're able to execute that work in a central place. Of course, honoring SLAs, you've got different levels of users that have different service level agreements, or perhaps needed segregated access. And of course, all of this, again, is technology that needs to be available on any device. And that's what really drives the desired outcomes, is the level of efficiency will increase, the accountability will increase, and the time to execute work will decrease. And that drives up the visibility, not only for management, but for those users that are seeking information, so that you can minimize that back and forth email hell that we've all experienced at some point. And as a result of these great tools, satisfaction goes through the roof, not only for those end users, but for employees who are supporting those users, and also for management. So it all ties together on the Now platform seamlessly, and it really makes a difference for our customers. So at the end of the day, where ServiceNow fits into these challenges and the capabilities that are going to enable enterprise service management falls into three essential pillars. So the first is a system of engagement, modernizing the experience for the warfighter and all the people in the ecosystem of your organizations, improving the service experience. This is about bringing a more seamless experience for mission customers, employees, mission partners. A system of action. So there's got to be easier ways to integrate and automate across your enterprise. This is again, the case management, the process automation, and the integration with other systems of record. And then a system of intelligence. This is leveraging the new innovations that are simple and accessible to use, like machine learning and AI, that are going to provide the data visualization, the metrics, the reporting, the better intelligence that are going to enhance everyday work for you all. So to quickly just drill into these three layers, again, first we need a system of engagement. This is a single web-based entity where I can allow mission partners or external folks or even internal folks to authenticate and request services, anything. But by leveraging this system of engagement, I'm basically providing one consolidated location where I can instantiate any type of work. And that type of user might want to request, you route that request through multiple departments, for example, and it all begins in that initial system of engagement. A system of action. I need to be able to automate the work that is coming in from requesters, whether, again, that is from mission partners, the sailors, other agencies. I need to be able to assign and route tasks. I need to be able to send out automated correspondence. I need to be able to manage service level agreements, again, to ensure the timely execution of those requests. And within that business process, I need to be able to integrate to the existing systems of record bi-directionally to push and pull data where it's necessary to resolve those requests. And on top of that, I need a system of intelligence. I need a way to, in real time, report on and visualize from a dashboard perspective what is happening to the requests. What is the state of the work or the cases that are being executed within my organization? Or the state of the work that has been assigned outside of my organization. And this is all, these are all going to be demonstrated here shortly. So again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to chime in. On the last note, I just wanted to articulate an enterprise service management success story that we've had with the Army that we're really excited about. We're supporting the Army Material Command with their global housing management solution. So basically the challenge was a disconnected approach to their service delivery that was negatively impacting the lives of the soldiers and their families, and quite frankly, affecting the health and the safety of those folks. It impacted horrible living conditions and low morale, and the Army had a lack of ability to have insight into the work that was being done for those folks. The reports or the metrics were just being tracked through email and spreadsheets. So what this ServiceNow solution looks like, it's just what we just talked about a moment ago. A self-service, really easy to use portal for families and soldiers to request support for their own base house, for their on-base housing. If they had issues with broken windows or leaky plumbing or vermin or black mold, whatever it was, they can easily go to a portal on their computer or on a handheld device or tablet and request services to mitigate, again, the vermin, the leaky pipes, the black mold. So by opening a case, you go into the portal, you open a case, and not only was the Army is the Army able to open a case for dispatch for a work order to be instantiated to solve that individual person's problem, but they're able to send out a survey afterwards to make sure that the work was done at 5-star level to the family members' satisfaction, and again, driving up efficiencies and allowing the Army to focus on the larger mission. So again, executing from a central place really enables an enterprise service management solution.
Hey, Sade, quick question for you.
Yes.
I was on the phone the other week with somebody from NAVFAC, and they were talking to me about how the Navy is very privatized and includes many different partners. Would this still be able to work in an environment like that?
Yes. Yeah. So, the software can inherently support third-party stakeholders. We'll be able to demonstrate that a little bit later, but you can push through privatized housing and administering support based on different locations. Like if you had a privatized housing that's taking care of all the housing in Seattle versus Washington, D.C., you would be able to segment that. Thanks, Chris. Excellent question. With that, I'm going to actually hand it over to Eduardo Coelho, who's going to kind of show this solution in action.
Thank you, Sade. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So my name again is Eduardo Coelho. I'm a solution consultant, and I work closely with Sade and Chris supporting the U.S. Navy. So for today, what I had planned to show is just a scenario to showcase some of the features and capabilities that we can enable to help you support this enterprise case management solution. So as part of the scenario that we're going to follow for today's demo, we're going to see how George, who's a naval operations specialist, he's having an issue with a projector in a conference room, how he can go to a portal, look up some knowledge, get some help on how to solve that issue, and then directly from that same portal, submit a request that gets routed to a support team, where John is an agent, going to review those details, look up some information on the case, and then once he determines the root cause of the problem, he's going to create a work order, assign that to the dispatch manager, and then finally create a work order and show how you can manage those field workers and assign tasks and work orders to them. So yeah, I'll just walk you through some of those steps in the scenario, but yeah, feel free. I mean, if you have questions, you can either enter the questions in chat, and at the end we'll have some time for open questions as well. So here on my screen, I have this is the portal that we built to support this demo. So this is what Sade was explaining before. This is our unified portal that can be developed, designed to support any type of requests a user may have. So here I have George is already logged into this portal. As a member of the Navy, he's going to have access to a different set of services, request types that maybe a partner or a civilian or an external user would have. So you can configure this portal, all the look and feel, the items on this portal to be personalized to the user who's logged in. So depending on their access level, their location, their role, the job that they're performing, you may display different knowledge articles on this portal, different service types that they can access, and different communities that they're a member of. So this can be personalized, configured to only show information that's relevant to the user. And also from the portal, one of the things that we want to make this easy for everyone to use and find information. So instead of having to go to multiple places to search on how do I find, how do I submit a request if I have an issue with one of my devices, my projector or a router, for example, instead of trying to search for the data across multiple sites, multiple places, we have this unified search here that shows not only results of different request types that you can submit. So if I'm having an issue with a router, I can submit a request for a replacement or for an upgrade, and then look at all the different knowledge articles and even some previous requests that I submitted that are related to that issue. So this makes it easy for someone to find information. They can go one place, start with a search, find what they need, and limits the number of sites, number of places that your users, your customers will have to search to find the information they're looking for. Can support a wide variety of types of requests. I mean, from like visitor access requests, to like issues with facilities. We also have a community model that you can enable to allow users to collaborate with each other. So if you want people to ask questions and help each other, we can support that as well. And also all the list of all the cases, previous requests that the user submitted can also be displayed on this portal. So really one place for people can find information. And then as I click here on this Get Help link, this is going to take me to what we call our service catalog. So the service catalog, it's a place where you can display a list of all the request types, orders, and questions that a user can submit. So the service catalog is going to be different based on who's logged in, what types of questions, requests they can submit. And our vision with this enterprise case management process is that as part of the service catalog, users can come in here and create, submit any types of requests, and then we can leverage our workflow tools and logic to route those requests to the right teams, to the right fulfillers that need to respond to this request. So maybe they're onboarding a vendor, onboarding a partner, or just need a password reset, or they need to upgrade a device. All of those requests can be initiated from the same portal and routed appropriately. And also you can automate a lot of those steps, right? So instead of having someone send an email or call someone and then maybe a lot of that information is missing, we have predefined forms that capture all the information that's needed to fulfill that request. And for things like a password reset request, you can even automate the entire process. So you can ask the user for a new password. Once you validate that they should have access to the system, you can automatically update their password, unlock the access to the system they are requesting access for. So for the demo today, I'm going to walk through a complaint, because since George is it's in a conference room, the projector is not working.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So will you go back to the other slide, please?
To this?
Yeah, please, thank you. So what's the shared service, and are all of these icons that I see here, are those shared services or categories? So two questions.
Yeah, so those are just sample request types that we configure for the demo. You could have anything you want here. I mean, those are just like different ways that you can categorize and organize your catalog. But you can name this anything you want and have any types of requests under like shared service. For example, if you are like an IT shared services, probably your request will be mostly IT. We just wanted to show a variety of requests as part of this presentation today. Did I answer your question?
Kind of, sort of. I get that these are examples, but what are you calling shared services? That's part I really don't understand. If that's out of the scope of the webinar, that's fine.
Yeah, so we just called it, just because since it's like an enterprise case management tool, that it could be this could be leveraged to support a support team organization that provides shared services across the entire organization. That's why we call it this, but it's just one thing. I mean, it could be named anything you want, like to fit your own processes.
Right, but what's a shared service though? Is what I'm really trying to get at.
It's just a name. It's just a label for the category. So it's like I have a support category or services category. It's just the label that we call. So you can change it, configure it to support your own to your own process, your own needs.
Okay, got it. Great, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so as we go here and start the process for filing a complaint, one of the things that you could also do is pre-fill a number of fields on this form. So we already know, since George is logged in, the organization he belongs to. We have his contact profile information, so his name, email, phone number. It's all part of the system. He doesn't have to re-enter that information here as well. And as part of the system configuration, we can support Cac authentication. So George can log in to the system with the Cac so that it pull the information from his profile, and all of that can be populated. And as he starts filling out this information here, he's going to file a facility request that he's having an issue with an equipment, and then the projector it's not working. And as I start typing in the description for this request, one of the things that we can do is also show related knowledge base results. So here you can see that the top answer related to my request is issues with conference room projectors. I can look into this article, maybe this resolves my problem right away. And this is one way that you can use to deflect some of those incoming requests and reduce the volume of requests, calls that you get into your support center. So here, as I continue to fill out this information, I can capture the date when this has occurred. Can enter some additional details about this process, and also can add attachments. So if I'm using my phone to capture this request, I can take a picture of the issue with my phone. I can submit documents, forms, or other any type of attachment with this form. And once I click submit, this is going to create a case in the system, and based on the type of request, who is submitting the request, you can route it to a specific group, to a specific agent that's going to review and work on this request. We also create, so all of those requests are accessible via this portal. So George can always go back to this portal here and look at the status, look at from either this request or any previous request that he submitted. So he doesn't have to keep track of all the different emails that he may have received in the past about a request. You can always come back here to the portal, find out what was done. I mean, if he wants to look at an attachment that was provided as an output of a request, it's always going to be available here on this portal. And now I was going to switch to the agent view and show you how once the request is created, how an agent can review the request and starts responding to those user requests that are submitted from the portal.
Hey, Eduardo. Just sorry to interrupt. I wanted to ask you a question here that we see often is when a request comes in, and sometimes, it needs to travel throughout an organization, needs to hit a couple of different hands before coming to a resolution. Can this solution support the multiple teams required sometimes?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so once a case comes in, is created, you can trigger a workflow that creates multiple tasks or other cases or incidents that gets routed to multiple different teams. So maybe it's a request for onboarding a new partner or reviewing a complex server install where you need to get multiple teams involved in that server rack installation. You can create multiple tasks, assign them to multiple users, and even have dependencies across those tasks. Like task A cannot be worked on until, or task A needs to be completed before task B starts, and manage those complex case management workflows that are initiated from the portal. So now I'm switching here to the agent view. So this is the screen where so here I'm logged in as John to this agent workspace, and this is the place where your users who are going to be responding and replying to those requests. That's the application that they'll primarily use. So here on the initial page of this agent workspace, you can configure it to include a number of their performance metrics for themselves and for their teams. so that they can have a quick high-level view on how they're doing, how many cases are open, how many cases are high priority, needs attention right away. And this, all of the metrics, KPIs on the screen here can be configured, can be updated. So if you have specific metrics that you track for your own organization, you can update the screen, configure it to show your own metrics. As well, we have this other view here that shows the status of all the applications. So if you are in an IT support group and you need to be aware of downtimes or system degradations for any sort of services or applications that you support, this also gives your support team a quick view and access to see which applications are not working correctly, or maybe slower, may have some minor issues on, and that can help them quickly assess and determine the root cause of the problems or questions that they may get. And as part of this workspace, you also have an ability to have like a list of all the different cases and contacts and accounts that are available to users. So here, if I want to just look at all the list of complaint cases that have been submitted on the portal, I can see all the different complaints and case types, and I can see the ones that George just submitted via the web. And give me a view, and I can sort, filter, configure this view to show different items, different fields if needed as well. But this just gives an easy way for your agents, your support team, to quickly access the subset of cases, incidents, requests that they're working on. And some of those cases can also be routed, pushed directly to the agent. So we can support, either they can just look at a list of cases and pull those cases to decide which ones that are still pending and they need to work on, or you can configure your own rules, your own routing rules that sends and assigns those cases to the agents who are available, have the right skill set, and have maybe some affinity with that account, that location, and can respond to the case right away. As I open up one of those cases here, so on the case detail view, one of the things that you can see is you can quickly see who submitted a case. I can look up information on the organization that George is associated with, look at the location, status of the case, everything. It's in one page, easy for me to access. And also, as those cases come in, we start capturing metrics around the timelines and SLAs for the cases. So we can capture all the different intervals on how long the case has been, like since it's been submitted, how long it took for someone to actually look and start working on the case, how long it's been sitting with like an agent before they respond back to the user. And then here you can keep track of different SLAs based on priority, type of case, or even like location or the user's organization. And if I open up here so George's organization view, I can also see things like all of the different users, contacts who are associated with this organization. So if you want to see who else in George's organization or group has submitted similar issues, I can look at the cases that have been submitted, see if this is a common request, see if it is a common problem, and do other things like link different assets to those organizations. So if I'm trying to figure out if there's an issue in one of those assets, I can quickly identify all the users, all the locations that may be impacted by like a network server going down or a router going down. So this just gives you a quick view on who belongs to one organization, and also what types of cases requests those users are submitting. And if I go back here to this the case view, I can also look at all the details on the case. So once a case comes in, one of the things that we can provide, we have this agent assist view here on the right side. So this is going to display similar cases or relevant knowledge articles that may help your support team answer the question. So if this is a question about a projector not working, maybe other projectors in the building are not working as well, or it's a recurring problem in the facility. You can look at those existing cases and look at the details about those existing cases and flag them as helpful, link them back to this case in order to help the agents respond to those cases quickly. I can also have things like templates that allow me to quickly fill out the information for the cases, and I can automatically create tasks for those incoming requests. So if a projector is not working and I determine it is an issue, I can automatically create a task that's a network issue. I can automatically create a task and assign it to a network team, for example, that they need to enable network access in that conference room. This can be done manually, can be done as part of your workflow that you just trigger this automatically when certain case types come in. So it's all configurable to really minimize the amount of manual tasks, manual touch points you have with all your processes and case management items. We also have a feature called Playbook that helps you guide an agent, guide a user through a complex process. So if you have, for example, maybe like a vendor onboarding or a more complex complaint type that you need users to fill out to follow complex procedures, you can have those playbooks that guide them to step by step on what to do. So first they need to gather details, then add additional parties, maybe verify the address, request additional information, and then notify the customer. And then you can have multiple stages from that process flow to walk the user, the agent through that procedure, and make sure it's consistent across all agents, right? So one person is going to follow the same process, the same procedures, and get the same information as another agent. And we can also, since we are capturing all this data, one of the things that we can provide as well is a number of different dashboards and reports that can help you keep track of all your case metrics, user satisfaction, consent surveys to capture feedback from all your users, and look at the different trends and how long is it taking for you to assign those incoming requests? How long does it take to respond to those requests? And filter it based on, you can organize it based on case type, complexity, different by agent, by team member. So we have hundreds of those reports that are available out of the box. You can configure your own reports, add your own dashboards to capture different metrics with this report. So you can quickly see how your team is doing, how you're responding to those requests, measure all those different KPIs, and quickly identify any problem areas, any issues that may need to be addressed. All right. So next, I was going to show so now we've received the initial request, and what I was going to show next was how, once we determine that this request, there is an actual issue with this projector, one of the next steps we can take is actually create a work order to route this request to a team who can send someone on site to actually fix the projector. So it may be a defective projector, it needs to be replaced. So at this point, the support agent, he cannot resolve it on the phone himself. So John is gonna actually have to create a work order from this initial case to help resolve this issue. So as I just created that work order here, since we are building this from that case, you can automate and copy all the information over from that case into this work order. So there's no duplication of work. The agent doesn't need to cut and paste the data. Like if you're using two separate systems applications for work orders versus cases. This here I already copy all the user information. I copied the location where this issue is, copied details about the location. All of that was done automatically. And now I can maybe enter some additional details here if needed for the dispatch. Maybe the user told me that the projector won't turn on. And then at this point, I can actually just dispatch this, and this will send it to a group of agents that work on that facility, that base location, that are able to respond to those requests and resolve those projector issues. Any questions so far? Before I was going to switch now to actually the dispatch view. So here I'm logged in now as Lisa, and Lisa is one of the dispatch managers that supports the agents in the San Francisco area. So based on the location and type of request, once John clicked on that send to dispatch link for that work order, it routed that case to Lisa's group so that she can assign that to one of her workers, to one of her technicians, and actually go onto the conference room and fix that projector issue. So here on this dispatch map, we can view a list of all the different workers, all the different technicians, look at where they are in real time, so they can share their location. We can see exactly where they are, what they're working on, and look at some of their statuses, like if they're ahead or behind schedule, and what they're going to do next. We can manage their routes, help them optimize their routes. So if they have multiple tasks, multiple jobs that they need to work on the same day, we can sequence them in a way that minimizes the travel across all the different locations. And also here I can see which like work orders have not been assigned. Maybe those are still pending and need to be taken care of right away. So this is just an easy way to have a visual, a graphical view of where everyone in my team is and what they're working on. And in addition to my own like internal workers, you can also configure the system to support third-party vendors and field technicians as well. So if you have certain types of jobs, certain types of activities that are handled by third-party companies, by vendors, you can allow them to use the system to manage the work, to send the work to their own technicians, and at the same time give you visibility over where all of those third-party technicians are and what they're working on. So if one of those technicians needs to repair some like Navy assets, some equipment, and you want to know exactly who has that asset, who has that equipment, and where it is, that allows you to see that in one single view, not only your internal team, but also those outsourced vendors.
Hey, Eduardo, quick question for you.
Yes.
Historically, if a technician goes out, is there a way to prevent that technician from making multiple site visits to the same location?
Yes. One thing that we can support is that as the work order is created, we can, as part of that work order, there are a few different items that we can include. One is like a skill set for the technician. So we can make sure that the technician that's assigned to that work order is capable of doing that job. And also we can manage the part requirements for that work order. So before they even go on the job, if they know it's a projector issue or a router issue, we have a list of parts, equipments that they should have with them on their personal inventory in order to minimize those repeat visits, right? So make sure that the first time they show up, they have all the equipment, all the replacement parts they need. And we can also even support things like Uber-like experience, like the users can have a mobile app where they can see exactly where if their technician's on the way, they can see when they're expected to arrive, so they can be on site to let them into the facility or make sure that they have access to the room, the equipment that they need to fix. And this here, yeah, just showing talking about the different skill sets for technicians. So here, each worker on your team, you can assign a list of different skills to those workers and skill levels for each one of those skills too. So if you're looking at someone who needs to install new network equipment or do work on network related requests, it's going to route those requests to technicians, to workers who can support those types of requests. So this can help also reduce amount of rework and make sure that the person doing the job is capable of doing the job.
Hey, Eduardo, another comment that we hear a lot is if folks are using like a mobile capability for the dispatch, sometimes there's dead zones, sometimes there's facilities that don't have service. I know some of the national parks also, it's hard to get some kind of service to your phone. Is that an issue ever?
Yeah, and I'm going to switch to the mobile app in a minute, but this, our mobile app supports offline access. So yeah, a lot of times, yeah, the workers may need to be like in a basement or in a remote location where they don't have access, so they can download the list of work items at the beginning of the day, just keep track, update all their work steps throughout the day, and then once they have they're within their network access and they have connectivity again, they can upload all of the data back to the server. So yeah, we support those offline modes that can be helpful in some of those situations.
Awesome.
Yeah. And this view here that I wanted to show, this is the dispatch view where your dispatch team can use to manage and assign those requests to workers. So here, if I have a router setup or a projector repair, I can select that item. It's going to show me who in my team is capable of responding to those requests and who has the matching skill sets to respond to those requests. So I can try to pick the best person to work on it. So here for this router setup task, I see Nina. She's on the same location. She has 2 out of 3 skill sets that match to this task. I can also try to auto-assign this to another technician, and then this is going to try to route it based on their availability and distance and parts that they have with them. So here I can see that Nina, she has the parts within her own like truck or personal inventory, and she has almost all the right skill sets for the job. So it's going to give this to Nina first, and I can always override it. But that's another way that you can route and manage those requests. And now I was, for the final part of this demo here, I was just going to show the mobile application that your support team, your agents can leverage to respond to all of those requests. So here I'm showing this is my my mobile device. I've downloaded this application. I can view a list of all the different tasks that have been, so I'm logged in as Teddy, who is a field worker. I can view all the list of all the tasks that are have been assigned to me, or I can look at a map to see where are the nearby tasks that I need to work on, and once I review those tasks, I can always just click on the one that I need to work on next. I'm going to do this projector repair job. I can accept the task that has been assigned to me, and then start working on this task. So I can do things like capturing the travel time that it takes for me to go to this location to start the repair. Once I get there, I can start capturing the details about the work that needs to be done. So here I can look at the details about the parts requirements. I can look at any messages or comments that either the dispatcher or the person making the original request submitted, so I can have more details about this request. And then as I work on the job, I can make sure that if I use any parts on my inventory, I can keep track of all those different parts that are being used, so that I can have an accurate count of things that are in my truck, in my inventory. And you can also include things like checklists. So for a lot of either inexperienced workers or complex tasks, you may want to enable those checklists that will guide the workers step by step, or make sure that they're following the right safety procedures, the right process for repairing a router or repairing a projector. So this allows them to capture all the details about the work they've done, and ensure that it's consistent, and it's all the field techs will have a high quality level for all the different jobs that they're working on. And as once I capture all the parts that I use, completed the questionnaire, I can close this task, can mark it as done. That's going to trigger an email back to the user that's saying that the task is completed. And if I'm on site, I can also capture the user's signature, capture the user details straight from this tablet here too. So if I need their physical signature and make sure that they agree that the job was completed, I can capture it from my device and automatically generate a PDF form that has all the details about the request, has their signature, and this can be automatically emailed back to them and associated with that case record. So all of this, those steps can help you automate your process, make sure that it's easy for your users to get those issues resolved quickly, and also have good visibility across the entire case management flows from the initial request all the way to this to the detailed steps that a field worker took to resolve that request. And just as part of this application as well, I can do other things like manage inventory. So if I didn't have the part needed, I can do lookups for parts, so I can see if there are any nearby team members that have the parts that I need, or if I have the parts in a nearby warehouse, and request a transfer for that part. So all of this, going back to Chris's question, helps you ensure that you have not only have the right information you need to do the job, but also the right equipment, the right parts and skill sets to do the job.
Thanks so much, Eduardo. That was great.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, and just real quick here. I showed the reports for the case management piece, but also similar, we have reports for the field management as well. So you can look at things like the duration for all your tasks, how long work orders, how many work orders stayed open, how long it's taken to resolve. So across any of those different groups, different job types that you're supporting, you can have metrics, you can have reports and dashboards to help you track all the work that's being done and help you make sure that it's there are no issues or problem areas that are that need to be addressed. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Hey, Sade, can you just go through that quick recap? And then we will make sure everyone's questions are answered. I think so far, Basil, Diego, and Ashley have done a good job managing the chat, but we can circle back if there are any other outstanding items.
All right. Well, so here we are at the end. You guys have seen us walk through a system of engagement. You saw the portal. You witnessed a system of action, creating a case and navigating that service catalog and seeing what internally an agent workspace looks like, and then extending work and those tasks out to mobile workers, those field workers, those technicians, with our field service management capabilities, and also seeing the mobile application of that. And then lastly, like Eduardo was just showing, a system of intelligence, the reporting, the metrics and the dashboarding that's going to provide you the insight into the services that you're delivering so that you can continue to make data-driven decisions and have that visibility to improve everyday work. I want to leave and we'll put this link in the chat as well, but there is more information on our little Navy microsite on ServiceNow. It is tailored specifically to the work that we're providing to the Navy. Please check it out. We'll follow up with any other questions.
And Sade, just to recap this for the audience, you know, all of us are in similar roles, I would say, and imagine briefing your commanding officer, going into the conference room, and then lo and behold, the projector doesn't work. So think about what Eduardo just walked through. He went to the portal. He was able to look at a knowledge base to figure out, hey, are there a couple things that I can do to fix this projector? If not, let me create a case. Let me get somebody to come out and fix it for me. Imagine being on base and having that process work through rather than sending emails or frantically trying to call somebody to get the projector swapped out. So just think a little bit about that system of action and system of record as it translates to your day-to-day job. I think it's really powerful if you take a look at it in your own vein and how you would see it happening in real time. With that being said, I don't think we have that many outstanding questions. If you guys need anything at all, we will paste our emails into the chat before we wrap up. We are here to help support the Navy and Marine Corps the best we can. So please do not hesitate to reach out with questions, comments, concerns. A recap email or webinar link, will be sent out to everyone with the recording. It will also be pasted on our microsite that is up and running, has a host of other resources. We really appreciate everyone's time today. Any other outstanding questions before we wrap our session today?
I don't have any questions, but I would like to just say that I really appreciate all of the answers I got back in chat. They were very responsive and very on point. So I appreciate that.
Thank you for asking them. Thank you for your engagement. We appreciate you. And you have wonderful taste in music, sir.
Well, thank you very much, my friend.
And Randolph, I will send you that PDF and the link to the ServiceNow modules. I will send that out in about 2 minutes. Thank you everyone so much for your time today. Happy Wednesday, and we look forward to seeing you soon on another Navy Tech Talk series.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.